Hi there, this is Solitaire Ronin from Solitaire Ronin Films, and welcome to our random review. Today we go to 1963 in Japan for Tadashi Imai's Cruel Tale of Bushido, starring Nakamura Kinosuke, who you'll probably recognise from other Japanese films. Imai is a director that not a lot of his films are readily available. I had only heard of him really for the first time when Eureka released this Masters of Cinema of his film Revenge from 1964, which is a really nice little film about, strangely enough, the samurai rules and how they're fairly non-humanistic, shall we say. So this film again is another critique of the Bushido, and it fits in with Masaki Kobayashi's kind of more political films, and fits in with Harakiri about criticising the samurai code, but it does it by a really nice little device which is similar to Yakuza Law from 1969, which is directed by Teruo Ishii, but instead of looking at the Yakuza side in 3 different timelines, this looks at 350 years of the Akira family through the present day member Susumu, who is a working man, a salary man, whose fiancée has just attempted suicide, so he is with her in the hospital, and while she's in the hospital, he goes through these 7 tales, these 7 testimonies, if you like, of his ancestors over the last 350 years. So you have all his family, or male family members, played by Nakamura Kinosuke. So it's all Alec Guinness and kind hearts and coronets as he plays these 7 characters. And as I said, it starts from the 1600s up to one of his ancestors or one of his relatives was a kamikaze pilot in World War II, and then himself in the 60s. And it's basically about how, the feudal law, the system of Bushido, and vassals pretty much have to give up everything, and including their lives, to serve their master. The last story, which is up to modern day, we find out why his fiancée attempted suicide. It's absolutely wonderful, but it's also completely brutal. It could easily be Brutal Tale of Bushido as opposed to Cruel Tale of Bushido. This isn't really an official DVD. This is a bunch of, or one of the bunch of kind of non-official DVDs I got from eBay, but the picture quality is really good. Again, I'm not going to go into too much detail on the 7 tales, But as we know, one of them is the current one in the 60s of why his fiancée attempted suicide, and then we have one of his relatives being a kamikaze pilot. And one of his relatives is a really excellent swordsman who has mastered this technique, which involves being blindfolded. And at one point he shows that off to impress his lord, and then later he performs it with horrendous consequences. I mean, Kinosuke just gives a fabulous performance, or 7 performances, and again it really shows the cruelty of the time. There's a brutal execution of people, and again the Lord just sits there and lets it happen, and all the servants just have to take it because that's the way the system's set up. I mean, it's not very subtle about the feelings of Imai and the writers. The story came from a novel. It's beautifully shot in black and white, as so many Japanese films of the 50s and 60s were. And again, just having it in different time periods, and we see the journals, and Kinosuke also narrates at kind of the start of every story. Again, so this isn't a very long random review or an in-depth look at the film, because that would be to have too many spoilers. It's more just to kind of make you aware of the film, and certainly I will be trying to get my hands on more Tadashi Imai films, because of looking him up, in the 50s he won 5 kind of best film awards in Japan, which, when you consider the competition in the 50s, that's pretty impressive. And as I said, there's people in the film that you will recognise. Masayuki Mori, for example, is in it. The guy who played the rookie in Seven Samurai is in it. And there's a few familiar faces. The back blurb does say it's almost unbearably, relentlessly depressing, which is certainly my kind of film, and hopefully it'll be your kind of film too. So thanks very much for watching. As I said, this is just a brief review of another wonderful Japanese film from the 60s that I had never heard of before, but it's absolutely fantastic. So please let me know if you've seen The Cruel Tale of Bushido, and let me know what you think of it, and hopefully you'll join me again for more random reviews. This is Solitary Ronin from Solitary Ronin Films, saying farewell.